Hello, YouTube. Welcome to my channel, Marriage, Politics, and Sports. Today, we're going to have another episode of Let the Women Tell It. This is number 62. And we have a housewife here saying, men have emotions too. And this is something I think a lot of women forget about. We don't have to be emotional to actually have emotions. We do. I mean, we're all human beings. And instead of me telling you, because you guys don't give a shit what men think about or what we say, we're going to let a woman tell it. But before we show that lady from TikTok, uh, I'm going to put her full channel in my description later on. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell because I do a lot of stuff. I have my sports show on Wednesdays at 7 o'clock every week. And so I'm going to get the subscribership up and my audience up. But you know what? This is one of my public service announcements to talk about what women are thinking when they are thinking about the right things. This woman, as far as I'm concerned, is happily married. So am I. Not to her, but to my own wife. And there's a lot. There's not enough women who have their shit together speaking out. So every time I find a woman who has her head on straight and not succumbing to what the modern bullshit is of feminism that's going on, I try to highlight those ladies, and I like to share those women with you. And I hope you take heed to the message that they have to give you. So if you are a woman and you got a guy and you don't know how to treat him, listen to her. If you're a woman and you want this guy to eventually ask you to marry him, then listen to her. Because, if you listen to the hyenas next door, you're going to stay single for the rest of your life. And you might as well buy some cat food, a couple of cats, and train them to do what you need them to do in those lonely nights because there's not going to be a man there that you care about. Anyway, so without further ado, we're going to let the woman tell it. So here goes. Bum, 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 bum.
Talk about some of the expectations and what's required of women to actually have a good men. The first thing women do is talk about toxic men. Well, I'm not supporting no man that's abusive. I'm not supporting no man. No shit. Okay. We're not talking about supporting those type of men. We're talking about good men who are human and who also have struggles. It's like we forget about that. For example, y'all find it a problem if a man has an attitude or he's in a mood. Men have emotions, okay? They're not emotionless beings. They have emotions. They may express it in a different manner, but come on. Like, for example, me and my husband, we've been married for 8 years. We just celebrated 8 years of marriage in January, right? And this man is not always happy, just like I'm not always happy, right? He has times where he's moody, right? And you can just tell. It could have been like, his day at work, and he was just overloaded. Men have moments too, right? And when he gets like that, I have learned to give him space. One thing I've learned about men, or at least from what I've seen, just how me and my husband operate, whenever he's in his mood, I give him his space. I kind of continue to do my thing, but you can always tell when your man needs some space, right? And when he's ready to come around, he'll come around. But y'all got to stop acting like these men are not allowed to react to some of their hardships and to some of their struggles. No, we're not telling you to put up with BS from an abusive man. No, we're not telling you to put up with a cheater, right? But the thing is to make sure that you get it right, so you don't have to worry about those two different things, right? Or amongst other, toxicity elements that, yeah, nobody's going to live with that. But y'all be leaving these men over like crazy stuff. right? So let's just get that straight. Every time I talk about what women should do or how women should operate, the first thing y'all do is reference toxic men. And that just shows y'all are not healed. If that's how you're operating, on the fact that you don't want to help no man out, or you don't want to support no man because of toxic relationships that you may not even be in, you're talking about other people's relationships, we got to get it together. Men are human. Men have feelings. Men get wore out when they're going out into the world every day. The last thing they want to come back to is their woman who's also beating them up. Again, y'all have to show empathy. You cannot be a wife and you cannot be a God-fearing woman if you cannot show empathy, if you don't show compassion. I don't care if it's a man. I don't care if it's a man. That should make a difference. Y'all should see a human being in general, okay? Just like we get frustrated and emotional, men go through the same thing. They get frustrated. Their emotions may be all over the place, but they don't respond in the same manner just because they're.
Let me just stop it for a second. It's been 3 minutes. Listen, she's got it right. But let me also tell you, if there's any men listening to this, she does have it right. Because I've been married for 37 years, and my wife kind of understands my moods, but I'm not a moody person. But she knows when I don't want to be, just give me some space. I got a man cave. Most men will find a way in the house to have a man cave. And if he goes there, you let him stay in the cave for a little while. He'll come out and let you get your 10,000 words in. But one of the things I want to caution men out there is, if you're moody, don't always show it to your wife. If you have some vulnerabilities, don't always lead with that. It's good for her to know that you have some, but she doesn't need to know all of your weaknesses. She doesn't, because you don't want her to lose confidence in who you are as a man, right? You don't have to put on facades, but some of the issues that you can solve on your own, she don't need to know it, because you're going to solve it anyway. So I don't, my wife knows certain things that bother me and all that kind of stuff. But I share very little of my struggles with her, not because I can handle them on my own. And if they ever become part of where they might impact our family life, our finances, our children who are grown now, then, I need to bring her in. But it was very rarely that I have to do that. So, so this is a fine line for us as men to make sure we don't cross, right? But she's on the right track because she's talking from a woman's perspective. But just in case you're listening to this, it doesn't mean that she wants you to be crying on her shoulder all the time. She just wants to other women to recognize that you have some breaking points, even if she doesn't know where they are. She's saying to the ladies, just understand that there's signs that men give you that you should take heed of, and that's it. But as a man, do not sit down here thinking you could become some kind of blubbering idiot in front of your woman. Don't do that. Just don't do that. But just make sure, if she's a good woman, she'll understand that there's some places that she needs to let you go on your own. And then when you're ready to share, you'll share. And she needs to be able to live with that. So we're going to finish off what she got to say. This is my little 2 cents. Because for what she's saying to the women, take heed of that 100%. But if you're a man and you're listening to her, this is not a license for you to be a pussy in front of your woman.
Quiet does not mean that they don't care, right? And a lot of times women don't even give these men a safe space to open up, because the moment that they open up, y'all are calling them soft. Okay, so what kind of support system are you providing if they can't complain about anything, if they can't talk to you about anything, and then they're probably scared to talk to you about anything, because if they were to tell you how they really feel about certain things, you'll leave. You'll leave. Imagine as a man, okay, I understand women have their struggles, but I need us to kind of look at it from a man's standpoint. Imagine supporting a woman for years, okay? Let's just say, matter of fact, a guy had left a comment under my post. His stepdad has supported his mom, I believe he said, for 15 years. Something happened where he couldn't work. I couldn't remember what the exact comment said, but something happened and he was out of work, and his mom was ready to leave this man after 3 days. He had been supporting her for 15 years. So you mean to tell me that man had been supporting that woman for 15 years, and the moment he falls on a hardship, she's ready to go in 3 days? Y'all be expecting these men to jump through hoops for women who get to decide when they feel like leaving because they don't feel like dealing with shit. And I'm sorry. I understand why men are avoiding most of y'all women, because y'all don't think logically. Y'all are still selfish and entitled. The way y'all respond to stuff is selfish and entitled. It's always me, 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 me. Okay. In a relationship, it's not me, 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 me. If you want to continue to do the me, 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 me's, then stay single and keep kids out of it. That means don't get pregnant. Be by yourself.
All right, so let's end it there. That's good. Let me stop sharing that. She said it, so we didn't have to. And listen, it's funny. When I put my little interjection in there, I had no idea that she was going to verify what I said. Well, anyway, so I don't want to belabor this one. Listen, if you're a lady out there, listen to her. Like I said, when I started this series about Let the Women Tell It, you can go back to my channel. Like I said, I have 62 of these. Some of them are probably more poignant than others, of course. But, I thought this would be a good series for anybody who wants to peruse my channel. Feel free. I mean, it's all on there. It's all on the channel. Go back and listen to it. And take heed to what you hear. Some of it you might agree with, some of it you might not. So you absorb the stuff you agree with, and you put on the shelf the things you don't. That's how we should do in life anyway. R. Payne, Marriage, Politics, and Sports. Over and out.